Michelle. I'm a piano teacher and I'm going to talk about arpeggios today. And as I was trying to figure out which technique I would show you for the best arpeggio ever, I realized that there isn't one right way to play arpeggios, that there are several different techniques, and it really depends on what the music you're studying needs. So I'm going to use several different arpeggios to teach you several different techniques that you will use in arpeggios. And then as you study music and get better and apply these arpeggios to actual literature, you can pull from these different techniques and decide what works best in the specific situation that you have. So there are different things we do with our thumbs, our wrists, and our fingers in arpeggios to either make them faster or to affect the articulation, and sometimes you need one and sometimes you need the other, okay? So first I'd like to start with the B major arpeggio, and for that one I'd like to talk about a legato arpeggio fingering and how we can really connect our fingers by preparing the thumb, okay? So B major arpeggio has 3 pitches and it's a very simple one to begin with. It has thumbs on B, and then your peace fingers, these guys, peace. These are the ones that you play on the other 2 notes. And so the fingerings feel really balanced. It feels almost like you're doing exactly the same thing in both hands, and it's a really easy arpeggio to learn with hands together because of that. There's kind of a balanced feeling, and the fingering and putting hands together is simpler, just like it was with your scales. That's why we started with B major scales. It's why we're starting with B major arpeggios, just because it feels very balanced in your hands. So let's first just learn what the notes are. You're going to start on a B and play B, D sharp, F sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp. You're only using your fingers 1, 2, and 3 until you get to the top. With the right hand, you play with your pinky. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And you can do it all up and down the piano, okay? So that's the B major arpeggio with the right hand. With the left hand, you can start with your pinky. We only use the pinkies at the outer edges, okay? Mostly it's just 3, 2, 1. So start with your pinky on B, and then we do 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. D sharp, F sharp, B, okay? So this is the B major arpeggio with the left hand, and we will get into putting the hands together later. Right now, what I'd like to focus on is what you do with your fingers and your thumbs. We want, with this exercise, with this particular technique, we want to connect each note to the one before it. And the way you do that is you don't let go until you've pressed the next note down. So, for example, I'm playing a B first. I'll hold on to that B with my thumb until I've actually heard the ring of the F sharp. Hold on to that F sharp until I start to press the B, or the D sharp, okay? So with each subsequent pitch, we're holding on to the pitch before it so that they are connected to each other. And they're kind of stuck to each other that way. So there's a nice, smooth legato connection between each one of the pitches. So the first thing to think about is that you're not going to let go of the note before until you've pressed down the next note. So they're both sounding at the same time when you let go, okay? That makes a legato sound. Then what I want you to think about is how we do that physically. What I would like for you to practice is using your thumb to follow the note that's being played. So as you play, let's see if I can get a good shape here. As you play your arpeggio, your thumb's going to kind of point to the key that's playing. So it'll point towards this finger when this finger is playing. It'll point and kind of reach underneath towards this finger when this finger is playing. I'll show you. So your thumb plays by itself, but then when we are playing this F sharp, you want to kind of move your thumb to be right here. See, my thumb is just hanging out underneath the note that's being played. And then when we play the next note, my thumb moves underneath and it kind of hides in this little cave here underneath so that it actually could play that note. Like it's right under there. And that gets it set up to be where it needs to play next, okay? So your thumb is just right there. It's ready to play the B. And in that position, we can make these two both sound at the same time, okay? So following with the thumb also means that there's a little bit of shifting with the wrist going on. So your thumb and your wrist are kind of adjusting so that your thumb can follow the note that's being played and be prepared to play when it's the thumb's turn. And really, in order to get that thumb to sound, while you're still holding down this D sharp, you really have to open up this arch here. You have to reach your thumb underneath and shift your wrist over really diagonally, okay? So kind of extending your elbow out to the side, extending your wrist over so that there's really kind of a nice open place here so you can play both of these notes at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay. So create that space, move your elbow, your wrist, so that your thumb has access to the B and you can still be holding down both of these pitches. Once you play the B, then you get to let go and move. Okay, that was really, really slowing it down, showing you every little bit of the technical detail. And that's what I'd like you to think about as you're practicing these individually, one hand at a time. With the right hand, it's the same idea. So your right hand starts on a B, you play the next note while you're still holding down the B and then let go of the B. Play the next note while you're still holding down the D sharp and then let go of it. And as you're doing this, you're following each pitch with your thumb. So now my thumb is underneath and I'm gonna have to create space by moving my elbow, my wrist, taking my arm at a diagonal and making room for my thumb while I'm still holding the F sharp with my third finger, okay? Now, I just shift my fingers over, kind of pivoting on my thumb to the next note. Now I've got both of these pressed down. When I press the D sharp, I'm still pressing the B, then I let go. Press down the F sharp, still holding that D sharp, then I let go. With each of those pitches, my thumb is following behind, and then we create space by moving the elbow, the wrist, and opening up this hollowed out area here underneath the hand so that the thumb and the third finger can both play. Okay, you've got to kind of lift up and create space under there. Okay, all right. As we come back down, from here, you kind of twist the wrist and bring the third finger over. It's nice and tall. Your thumb walks underneath the black keys just like it did on the way up. So again, your thumb is following those fingers as they play. So when this finger plays, thumb's right underneath it. Okay, this finger plays, thumb's right underneath it. And as your thumb follows those fingers, it's going to help set you up for the proper legato fingering technique for this arpeggio. All right, so that's legato fingering. I would say practice that for a week or two. Really master it. Do it every single day, one hand at a time, hands separately. And then you can put both hands together. Just as a goal for you to look forward to in a few weeks, I'm just going to finish up this video by showing you both hands playing a B major arpeggio all the way up and down the keyboard with legato arpeggio fingering. Okay? Happy practicing! See you next time!